Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hoovy186 back again with another video. Hopefully you guys like the new intro that I have at the beginning. Hopefully all this goes well. I'm using some new stuff to make spice up my videos, and I'll be able to do more videos in the future. So bear with me here, people. Bear with me here. But anyways, this video I want to talk about the announcement from the Microsoft Gamescom. Of Tomb Raider, the Rise of Tomb Raider, the new game coming from Crystal Dynamics, is going to be exclusive to the Xbox One. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about this, and my overlining thought about this is that this is actually a very smart move on Microsoft's part. Obviously, we all know that Microsoft, the Xbox One, I don't want to say it's not doing well, because I don't think it's doing badly, but it's getting outsold. But lately, it's been getting outsold by the PS4 in a big way, especially in Europe, and it's also getting outsold by the Wii U also. So right now, Microsoft is the third console of this generation, of the early stages of this new generation. So they had to make a splash. They have the money to do it, so that's exactly what they did. There's a lot of interesting parts to this story. Like it just, it's hard to kind of to focus on one part, because there's so many layers to this news that is funny. You know what I mean? Like, it is funny, because obviously everyone can say what they want, but ultimately it is a smart move on Microsoft's part. This is also a extremely desperate move on Microsoft's part. Like this company, they don't have a choice but to do this, and this also validates what I've been saying and what a lot of PlayStation gamers have been saying about how Microsoft are completely reliant on third-party developers to make their brand relevant. This is proof. This is absolute proof of what I've been saying for a long time about Microsoft. They are completely reliant on this company, on third party developers to make their console relevant, and this news is complete proof of that. They don't have the talent. They don't have the in-studio talent that Nintendo has. They don't have the in-studio talent that Sony has to make games that are better than what you can get, at least exclusively, that you can get on the PlayStation and Nintendo. They just don't have it. They can't cut it, and this is proof of this. They can't cut it, so they have to do this. They have to do this. It reeks of desperation, but it also reeks of smart business sense. They know that Tomb Raider is a popular franchise. It's a long-standing franchise. It had a very successful reboot, and everyone who probably forgot, the game was advertised in the commercials as an Xbox One, as an Xbox 360 game when the game came out. I'll probably say like over a year ago. The original reboot. It came out over a year ago, and it was advertised as a Xbox 360 game, even though it's multiplayer. It was advertised as a 360 game. Now this one obviously takes it to the next step, being completely exclusive. And we don't know if the exclusivity lasts for like a few months, or like this holiday season, or it could be a few years. We don't know. But right now, this is a big win for Microsoft. It also reeks of desperation. I don't know if it'll help them in the future, in the long run, but it is what it is. Now, if you're looking at it from Square Enix / Crystal Dynamics, this move, unless Microsoft backed up a truck full of money into their studio, this is the stupidest decision. This is as stupid a decision as they can make, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the last game, the original Tomb Raider reboot, did not make them money. I think it's despite the fact that the game sold like 3-4 million units, did not make them money. For one, two, the game sold more on PlayStation platforms. I don't know the exact number of the PS3. I really don't even know if the PS3 version sold more than the 360 version. I really don't know. But I know for a fact that the PS4 version of Tomb Raider, the Definitive Edition, outsold the Xbox One version by a lot. And, and it doesn't make sense that you can bitch and complain about this game not meeting expectations when it's on multiple platforms, and then decide realistically that you could just put the game on one platform. Not only is it on that one platform, it's on a platform that is being outsold by the PS4 badly, and it's currently being outsold by the Wii U as well. And there's no Wii U version of this game. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense from that point. Furthermore, I forgot the dude's name, but I saw he's the head of Crystal Dynamics. I saw his reasoning behind it, and I just wish that these developers can just come out and say, listen, it's exclusive to Microsoft because they paid us. You know what I mean? I wish they can say that, but it doesn't come out right, and I understand he can't say it. But from a business sense, unless Microsoft just threw money at them, hand over fist, just tossing them with fastballs full of 50, then fastballs full of hundreds. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And I saw the petition. I don't sign petitions, so I didn't sign it, but I saw the petition, and to be honest with you, I can understand why PlayStation fans are upset about this. Because you sit there, you bought the game you bought the definitive edition, of this game, and remember this definitive edition, this game kind of started the rash of remakes that we've been seeing lately. It's been starting, and that was the first one that did. And the people who bought it on the PS4 more than likely are either they just bought it because they really didn't have anything to play. They didn't play it on the PS3, but those gamers bought that game. The vast majority of the people who bought that game on the PS4, and now Crystal Dynamics is basically telling you, in order for you to play our new game, you have to buy a console. Granted, a inferior console, you have to spend an extra $400, especially if you don't own the Xbox One. If you own the Xbox One, then you're good. You're on cloud nine. It doesn't fucking matter where you get the game from. As long as you have an Xbox One, you have the game. You're good. But the thing is that for those people who bought a PS4, who also bought the game, who bought the definitive edition of Tomb Raider, you screwed them over. Simply because you wanted that money from Microsoft, and listen, that's fine. I mean, listen, business is business. There's nothing you can, there's nothing any gamer can say once the company says, listen, it's a business decision. It is what it is. You can't knock them for that. But what you essentially did, you fucked those gamers over. You fucked the PlayStation gamers over, and that's an undeniable fact. There's nothing, there's not being salty. There's not being, because listen, I didn't play Tomb Raider. I didn't play the definitive edition. I didn't even play the original. I don't think it's something it's just not something I would play. So I don't care regardless, because I didn't play the original, so it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? But for those gamers who bought the game, who bought the system to play the game, you fucked them over, and there's no denying that. And this is the problem that we have now with this type of practice. That you're going to have, especially a company as desperate as Microsoft, they're going to try to buy off third-party exclusives. They're going to try to do it. It's different from something that happened with Titanfall and Sunset Overdrive, because those are new IPs. They need to start somewhere. If Microsoft wants to pony up the money to put a new IP on their system to what do you call it? To what's that? What I'm looking for? To expand their library. That's one thing. That's fine. And it also it's not the same as the situation that happened with Bayonetta 2. People bitch and complain about Bayonetta 2 only coming out for the Wii U. You have to remember, if it wasn't for Nintendo, that game doesn't exist. That game don't exist without Nintendo. So that's different. What we have here with Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, being exclusive for Xbox One, is a company that is so desperate to get people to buy their console, their inferior console, that they're willing to throw hand over fist and throw money at a company that is desperate for money. And Square Enix, they're desperate for money. They're a very desperate company. They haven't been the same since the PS2 era, since the beginning of the PS3 era. You know what I mean? And they're so, and that company is so desperate for any type of this free cash that they're willing to fuck over a large percentage of their fan base, you know, the PlayStation fans, just so they can get some extra income from Microsoft. That's what happened. Now again, it's all business. I understand that. It's all good. It's a business decision. I understand it. But you can't tell me that a game that not only came out that the sequel to a game that was multi-plat and sold better on the PS4, on the PlayStation 4 at least I still don't know if it sold more on the PS3 than 360. I don't know. But a game that not only sold more on the PS4 and looks a hell of a lot better on the PC, and you're telling me that the only place you can play this game at is on the Xbox One, a struggling console, you know, a weaker console, and that's the only place where you can play the game. Business wise, for Crystal Dynamics, it doesn't make sense. For Microsoft, it makes perfect sense. For Crystal Dynamics, it makes no sense. Unless Microsoft backed that money up full of cash. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, this is it for me, Hoovy186. Look out for more videos. I am out.